Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. Here's another page for my Winter 2018 mini album that I called It's Freezing. And I'm using these two photos, and I'm also working with the digital version of the collection Hello Winter by Carta Bella. Now, I decided to go a little different with this page and actually cover the entire background with paper. So I'm using different pattern papers, but I am covering the entire background. So here I'm using the striped paper for the bottom, and for once I am just eyeballing it because it's so close to the edge there. Usually I use a ruler if I have pages that have continuous design. Now it's not even exactly going all the way to the edge. There is a little bit of a border around the paper, but I felt that this is so close to the edge that I can eyeball it. These pages have the big gap as I am working on them, but once they will be put together, that big gap, which is for the binding, will disappear so that the design will really appear side by side. In continuous fashion. So this has been one of the biggest challenges for me as I'm working with this album, because I can't really work continuously between the two pages, which I like to do with my traveler's notebook layouts. But there will be that interruption, which is the binding, that will then disappear once the book is actually bound together or put together. So here you see me now. I am using the ruler because I want to make sure that it is continuous and that this strip is aligned to each other, so that once the book is put together and bound together, then, like I said, that big gap in between the pages there will disappear, and so it will appear continuous. And then I have this frame. I just created it myself. It didn't come with a collection. I just used one of the papers from the collection. I just wanted one that wasn't too busy with patterns, because I am working with this busy pattern on top, and I would have liked to use a striped one, but I wasn't going to use a striped one if I have the striped paper at the bottom there. So I just decided to go with a pretty simple plain paper, still slightly patterned. It has a wood grain kind of pattern. And so here I had to make sure that when I glue the photos down, that they would be in such a way that none of the edges of the photos will peek from underneath the frame. So that's why I had to have that little bit of the help of that frame. But once I have everything glued down, then I can add the frame to it, and then that is all covered. Then I created this title using just one of my round stamps. It's an alpha stamp, and I kind of made them overlap a little bit, so it has a little bit of an interest there, and then I just fussy cut it out, and that makes my title. This is a very simple page that doesn't take much extra stuff there. And here I am adding just the embellishments. A lot of the embellishments are, like some of the embellishments come from the collection, and I just radically resize them to make them really, really small. And then the rest of them are just my word strips, which I have created myself, and they're made available as a freebie on my blog, MistyHilltops.com. If you like freebies, go check it out. There's a ton of them for digital scrapbooking and physical traditional scrapbooking. So if you are a scrapbooker in any way, go check out MistyHilltops.com. So here, like I said, I am aligning these word clusters there, just with the word strips. I'm creating little clusters, and I try to keep it with a visual triangle, because I do find that works best on my pages. And so here I have one, then at the top of the photo is the other one. I don't like my photos to be covered up too much, and they're too small to give much. Like any covering up will cover up a whole lot of what's on the photo. So I do try to avoid that if possible, by keeping things out of the photo frame there. And so here I am adding the last little bit of word. When I have these word strips, I do print them on like pretty thick cardstock, and then I just trim them by hand. And then here I have more of these embellishments that came, and so here I am actually, because that picture has a very repetitive kind of motif, I guess, and so I didn't mind covering it up just a teeny tiny bit. And then again, this is completing my third cluster that creates the visual triangle, where I add a few more of the word strips to this part of the page. And that pretty much rounds up my page. Now I'm still adding some of my die cut buttons, which are just paper buttons. And if you are interested, you will be able to download this mini album at some point from my blog mistyhilltops.com, just obviously so that you can use a cutting machine to cut it out. Anyways, here are more of the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.